Thank you very much. Yes, again, we're all very much looking forward to a bit about the Titans for these two rematch from Major 2, of course. But realistically, how do you feel about these two teams coming into it, Ton?
It's a difficult one because we have pretty much seen what we've seen from Thieves online, which is usually pretty bad. But of course, when we did see them in the final, it was a pretty close game across the board. But Atlanta FaZe have looked lights out since we got to the Boston Major. It's just such an intriguing matchup, though. We just don't know what Thieves we're going to get. We know how good FaZe are. We know how good they are going to look in this series. Whether or not Thieves turn up is another thing. And everybody at home, us two included, are very much looking forward to the fact that if they do, we got a banger of a series on our hands. Just a couple of little sprinkles of stats to come in here, actually, and want to talk about quite a bit. There's been a lot of conversation around Slasher and Octane, of course. Octane actually 0-8 against Slasher in the CDL, has not beat him once, which I find wild.
He hasn't, but realistically, these are the two of the big players we're looking at in this series as well. Octane, whose stock keeps rising this year, and Slasher, when he moved over to Atlanta FaZe, people worried whether or not he would be able to do the business, and do the business he has. But this is the head-to-head between these two teams. What a ridiculous stat line for both, Ton.
Yeah, shout out to Brian's stats, bringing some of these ones up. The production, throwing them in there. They are titans of Call of Duty. And just so interested to see who really does take off. I kind of want to reiterate what Nameless was saying on the desk there as well. Octane looked final when he was online in Boston, but Slasher yesterday putting up some numbers. Of course, against the Florida Mutineers, I think you're going to have a bit of a tougher time here up against Octane, of course, but Slasher doesn't need to be the guy for the team. But whereas Octane, when he performs on a high level, this LA Thieves team looks so good. I'm interested to see if Octane can get his first win against Slasher here, and I'm sure that'll be something he wants to completely turn around here.
Certainly so, and I suppose one of the things with LA Thieves and Atlanta FaZe is already we are kind of posturing them in a position where we expect to see them at least near the grand finals for the rest of the season. A lot of people consider these two some of the top two teams in the CDL right now. Atlanta FaZe obviously makes the case because of, you know, winning the last major, and LA Thieves with their incredible run. They've beat an awful lot of teams to get there. They did their work. And we were worried about LA Thieves to begin with, right? Like, we were sitting there going, oh, is it going to be the same as last year? Awful. Oh, okay, they've won a major. Oh, they won champs. Start off a bit better. Atlanta FaZe have also kind of broken the trend and going to win a major as well. So I just think whenever we see these two teams match up, it's going to be a good game.
Well, hopefully we do get that good game. And looking towards the maps, you know, I think, again, agreeing with that. I'm agreeing with Ant a lot today. We need to stop that for a start. But the map set really is lining up towards FaZe. Of course, you look at this Mikado last time around in the grand finals. It was a very close win to the side of Thieves. But then, of course, we got the S&D LSCLO again, where we see the aBeZy clutch up massively. Then, of course, we move on to the Control, which is going to be Hotel, which, again, the only two times that Thieves actually lost online and Control were against FaZe in that grand final. So they seem to have their number there. Thieves seem to be better than everybody else in Control, apart from Vegas, apparently. So let's see how things do go down here in this hard point. I'm interested to see how the opening game is between these two. Thieves really need to come out hot. FaZe, I'm expecting very hot start from them, and Simp picking up two to kick things off. It's not something you want to see if you're a Thieves fan.
No, but obviously, like, P1 a lot of the time is just going to be throw your nades, try and maneuver for that P2 spawn. So I'm not too worried about the initial gamers going through. You would slightly favour Atlanta FaZe in this matchup as well, realistically, as we move forward. But we'll find out as the maps fall as they do. Right now, Cellium is going to try and fight off Octane.
And the thing that we always talk about when it does come down to Thieves is that their holding and breaking is really solid, but rotationally is somewhere they do struggle. I think when it comes down to Mikado, you really need to be making sure those rotations are unlocked. The team that do have a lot of success at rotating on this map, though, is Atlanta FaZe, and you can already tell that comes to fruition. aBeZy finding 3 on the rotation route over towards P2. It's a nice little setup from the side of FaZe. You have to see a pinch coming in from the side of Thieves here. You can already see Octane pushing down the car park side. Big gunfight going to go down there. Slasher will win it, so it's very much one-dimensional push here from the side of Thieves. Not going to be able to find a route through. Simp just about keeping himself alive there, but not for long enough. Slasher towards the back side. The push is going to start coming through from Thieves. 3 players there. aBeZy still lingering around. Nicely done from the squad. Gonna have to back things down. Bricey, have I got you back?
Yes, I think there's a bit of a comms mess up there, but don't worry. The game, fortunately, is good enough without me being involved. And you can see the rotations now could be very, very important. Octane trying to do every single piece of work he can. A little bit outnumbered, though.
Yeah, he's done well to rotate himself around here, but FaZe more than ready for that. 15 seconds left to go, and is there going to be the break that came through from Thieves over towards P2? Shots from Drazah. I didn't even see aBeZy on my screen, so he's done very well. And it's just about the pinch to be set up here. Once again, it's FaZe first ones here, but Thieves trying to break.
Looking for it. In goes Cammy with the first, but they're looking for the second trade coming through. Drazah throws it. Wow. Just messed that desk up. There is dust flying everywhere. Envoy eventually gets the second as well. And there was just an awful lot of lead thrown all over tin.
Oh, Envoy, he's done well. That's 4 in a row when the break does come through from Thieves. Cellium and aBeZy will find 2 over towards the middle of the map, though, so there's a little bit of a pinch potentially set up here for Thieves. But if FaZe run through you like that, it doesn't really matter. All of a sudden, the break comes through. 30 seconds left to go, and we're heading over towards P4. P4 is where Thieves have had a lot of their luck on this map in particular. 60% of the time they find the break, but it looks like they're going to have the rotation on the way over. Envoy has to win this gunfight.
And he's just going to be playing delaying here. The thing is, LA Thieves will be looking for him, trying to sniff him out as he had a shout down.
Oh, that's Simon.
Cellium sniffs him, and they find him to the back alley, but Octane is ready. Locked in here, ready for the battle that's coming up against Slasher, but he moves at the wrong time. Drazah's going to try and get his trade, and he does. Still locking the Thieves out.
Yeah, that's a bad call from Sam. Nonetheless, if you're on the Thieves, you do lock this one in. Big gunfights having to come here from Drazah. They line up nicely. aBeZy and Cellium will see you later. Simp is there. See the next on the chopping block. Beautiful play from Drazah again. Looks down this side of the map. All of a sudden, Thieves are totaling these points up very, very nicely. All thanks to Drazah.
Oh, Drazah's now going to have to back up as well. But so much time burnt. Realistically, Atlanta FaZe have to check every single corner again, looking for him. They don't know where he is. They've chowed everything now. A double chow going to come through. Looks for aBeZy. Oh, wow. Through the sky, and that's a huge break. Only Octane stands in the way, but it's too late. They've got into the hill. The stun, the chow, and Simp wrecks him. And it will be off to the rotation, but what a break from FaZe.
Really good break for about 20 seconds. For the side of FaZe, that just looked very easy. It's one kill through the middle of the map, and all of a sudden, things break wide open. Yeah, Drazah gets pushed by a couple. He's likely to die, but you need the players on the point to stay alive. Nobody covering the mid-map push, but here we go from Thieves. They're going to be the first ones here. They were the first ones there in P4 and got the majority. Can they lock this one in now? Cellium pushing from one side.
And he's going to get gunned down before he could do anything. The trades are up through this.
Envoy's on his own.
The fight for Simp as he looks to find his way in for his teammates. No reinforcements yet, though, so any trade he has to stay alive for, and he hasn't done it. LA Thieves continue to pile pressure through. aBeZy going for a long-range gunfight versus Octane. The cut was just not there for them. Slasher can't get it either. Octane cuts down one route for them. All they've got to do now, LA Thieves, is look one direction.
Nicely done from the side of Thieves. And I really want to highlight the play from Envoy. We didn't really get to see a lot of it, but he finds 3 to lock it down when he was left all alone. Simp sitting at 13 and 6. He's had a good game. Let's go on board with him. Trying to find a break over towards the backside as the rest of Thieves now trying to find a push through here. He's going to lock this down and locking it down well with the Vazdev.
And now they've got to be a little bit careful. Thieves are spreading. Cellium makes one pinch already, so back alley's going to be completely open. And the Thieves look like they were trying to stack that. They had every direction ready to go, but they just didn't win a gunfight.
It's a really nice setup from the side of FaZe, though. Octane trying to get it done, but it's just so hard. The 6 different windows in Cantina that you're staring at when you make this push via hedges. They will find a route through, though, and that's a big gunfight win from Envoy. Simp doesn't finish his dinner, and all of a sudden they find the break. The setup from FaZe looked wonderful, but they could not lock it down. Thieves are just so good at breaking hills on this game. That one looked pretty much incomprehensible that they would find a way through, but they find a way through. They hold it down. Wonderful, wonderful play from Thieves again. Rotations starting to come through. FaZe, again, the first one's there, but Thieves, their breaking has been superb so far.
Both teams really throwing everything at this, and LA Thieves really are making a name for themselves. Can Octane hold it again? Cellium slides into as he picks up a 2-piece, and now he's going to the sky. Ready for anybody to go for this push. Only a palm tree for cover.
Octane winning the AR battle right now. Envoy's having a great game as well. 13 and 12 may not seem like an outstanding stat line, but he is finding the kills importantly in the right places. He's going to find one at aBeZy as well. Can he completely rebuttal this attack from FaZe 1-2? Octane helps him out. Simp will recover over towards the barbershop side, and Slasher will find another. It's looking like a good break from FaZe. Octane's still here.
They've still got a lot of defense to go as the reinforcements slowly get there. Drazah's going to challenge Slasher, and Slasher will come away with a gunfight. Octane's been alive in it for...
Oh!
It's a 5 streak. It's a 6 streak for him.
Oh my God!
Octane, as he continues to hold it down. Human turret hit the road.
Lando is screaming at his TV right now. My word. Big players coming in from Octane. Locks it down all on his own, and all of a sudden Thieves are looking about 40 points away. Atlanta FaZe came into this really hot, but since P3 they have been nowhere in this game. Thieves have found rotation, and we know they're great at holding and breaking, but you don't need to break when you're already there. Really good holds from the side of Thieves have been so influential in this game. We have another rotation, and you would count out anybody but FaZe in this situation. We've seen big comebacks before. It's gonna have to be another big one here.
Now you can see both teams just being cautious. Neither want to commit to P1 without positioning, and Envoy is going to be in a crazy space. LA Thieves line up the kill feed as well. They should have a spawn. They're even looking towards P1 to put a little bit of pressure on. For Atlanta FaZe, it has gone from bad to worse. And while Simp will find a 2-piece, they need P2.
They need P2. They may well find it. That's a couple of kills falling their way. Octane now left all on his own, isn't able to find anything, so it's a nice break from FaZe, and a timely one at that. 60 seconds to play for here as we head over towards this rotation. For the side of Thieves, there's no need to panic just yet. That lead is still sitting at around 100. It could be very well reduced by the time we head over towards P3. But look at this stack coming in from Thieves. They're hitting the alley.
Slasher just holding the angle, ready. Has a trophy with him as well, and you can even see now they don't really want to jam him. Octane's going to go for another one here. Just cutting down the angle, looking for them. Doesn't find both, but the rest of the team will. And Atlanta FaZe have just held every single angle you can. It could be a full P260.
It's looking that way so far. Thieves, as I mentioned at the top of the hill, we do not need to panic about this, but Envoy and Kenny will find a couple of kills themselves. They will have a little look at this now, but rotation is going to be important. That's actually Kenny to find a rotation. I'll kill Cellium. 7 spree for him. 1 HP, and he does just continue. He's looking over alley, then checks back towards the hedges to make sure that they lock that one down. But that is an entire 60 points for the side of FaZe, and what was a 100-point game is now a 50.
And this is where it gets crucial. Here comes the cruise. Every tack and nade from FaZe has to hit this site. They need to throw it all in, get the trophies out so they can do something with
the window.
It's not going to hit nothing at the moment. Envoy will get that first kill as well. FaZe need the
big hold.
But they find nothing. Cellium last alive after putting the cruise in, now just has to hold fire as the time ticks away for Thieves.
10 seconds for the side of Thieves to take away map number 1. FaZe, you've got one more push at it. They gotta go. They can't find it. Octane and Drazah, the AR battle, very much belonging to Thieves, as does map number 1.
And Thieves take it to them. You saw a little bit of a flash from FaZe. They could have came back into it, but it was all on the break. And Thieves didn't blink. They saw straight into the abyss and said, all right, no worries. I thought maybe, just maybe if they found something, but Envoy finding that first kill as well, FaZe had nothing.
And honestly, it feels like everybody from the side of Thieves really did chip in when needed. I think it's a single stage, at least for anybody. I think Kenny's the only one that I didn't really think in my mind had a highlight play. Drazah found 3 to lock down Cantina when they were pushing over towards Barbershop. Octane found what felt like 15 kills over towards P7. And Envoy time and time again found those rotational kills. Really big game on the side of the LA Thieves. And I'd imagine Kenny was doing plenty of work on the map, but I think it was just so many highlight plays from some of the others, like Envoy finding a couple here. This was it from Drazah. Yes, okay, they line up nicely for him here, but the importance of these kills can't be underestimated. Simp then falls as well. Really well played. And I mean, FaZe had 80 points heading over towards P4. That you know, that's fine. But the majority of that time went over towards Thieves, and then every single hill after that, it feels like they won the rotation as well. From this stage, they just never slowed down. And FaZe really struggled to break. It felt like on the odd occasion they threatened, then all of a sudden the Thieves player would come up with some crazy clutch to lock it in. Thieves firing on all cylinders in map number 1, and they are here for vengeance after that grand final. It's a great start to the series for them.
Yeah, I think there was some really good teamwork from Thieves as well, and that was maybe the difference from me. And FaZe just really struggled with the picking apart and the bait and switching. Over and over again, when they went for a break, you'd see, you know, a Thieves member go for the trade, get it, and then get out. And while FaZe tried to trade, they would end up getting gunned by someone from a different direction. It was very much a clinic from them in the end, and realistically, at one point, I think the slaying was pretty much even, but Thieves are pulling further and further ahead. Look at that, even that in the slaying department, a 0.96 there for Thieves. Simp went 23 and 14, but they just couldn't find the kills where it mattered. They actually killed more on that map. And if you think they didn't have that, what, 60-second P2, how bad it would have looked.
Looking over towards the general stats, LAT actually got outslayed by 1 kill there and still win it by 80. We tell you that kills, yeah, okay, they make a difference, but they are not the be-all and end-all, and that is a good example as to why. Great holds from the side of Thieves get the job done. LSCLO Search and Destroy coming up next, and they'll be looking to put away some demons. If you are the side of Thieves here, it was a 6-5 victory to the side of Atlanta FaZe last time out, of course, in the grand finals in Boston, and they'll be looking to try and turn this one around. And notoriously, I think, you know, for Thieves, I think the controls have probably hurt them, knowing how well they played in general across the whole entire event, obviously in Boston, and then to lose 2 of them in that final. I actually said it on the desk that I thought, you know, if they go on to win those controls, if they can continue, I feel like they've got a really good chance in this final. They didn't. I'm not saying that that's the only reason they lost the final, but it definitely felt influential. Of course, we do have a Search and Destroy before that, but the control will be crucial here.
Yeah, and here's the kind of thing between these two teams as well, right? Like, we kind of spoke about it before the game started. We are expecting these two teams to match up late in tournaments pretty frequently. And then it becomes a game of kind of chess between the two of them. They will know each other very, very well from their breaks to the way that they are going to play rounds. And when you have teams like this that aren't really going to change their roster very much, because I don't see these two teams really underperforming in the near future, it basically becomes like a very, very disciplined matchup. Like, you're going to know every player on the other team, their tendencies, what they're going to do, and roughly where they're going to be, right? So when you prepare for a game like this, it's not as much about the VOD as kind of reminding yourself of the fundamentals you need to play map by map.
Those fundamentals have been solid from the side of FaZe. I mean, look, we said originally that rotations were a really big problem for them, and I didn't feel like Thieves would be a team that you would then have to really struggle about it. Yes, okay, in the statistics department, we have seen FaZe definitely get better at those rotations, but we didn't see much of it there. So fundamentals on that side of things, not great in map number 1, but map number 2, when you think of fundamentals of Search and Destroy, you think of those first bloods. Well, I just want to tell you that Atlanta FaZe's stats for this are insane. 60% of the time they are finding those first bloods. Both these two teams are the top 2 teams of finding them. But the difference is here as well is that the actual difference between both these two teams, and you can see already the first blood percentage on this map specifically. But LAT are second in first bloods at 53%. That's 7 full percentages behind Atlanta FaZe. That might not sound a lot, but it is. And I trust you that trust me, I should say, that it is a big, big difference. Now let's see if FaZe can actually convert something. It was a 6-5 victory for them in the Search and Destroy against Thieves in Boston, specifically on LSC. It was 6-5 in first bloods. They are massively influential in this matchup.
Well, the first bloods haven't yet dropped on this first round. Will Kenny be the first to strike? aBeZy will be, because of course he will.
So good at it.
First blood aBeZy, but it goes down to a 3 versus 3. The trade is made.
I'm getting the start line on aBeZy's first blood as well. I'm going to throw them all out there. Simp with the second one. And in terms of converting the first bloods into round wins, there is nobody better than Atlanta FaZe as well. When it comes down to LSCLO, we got a first-hand look at it on the main stage. We're getting a look at it here as well. Now, 2 versus 3 for Thieves.
Simp going to stay put. Oh boy, trying to find out if he can just see him as well, and he gets the first kill. They've already broken to the bomb site. Atlanta FaZe have given this up a little bit, waiting to get their way through as well. Slasher has to back off. Cellium going for the wall bang, but it hasn't worked out. Oh, wait a second. I'm going to need to replay of the timing. I thought that was done.
Oh, brother.
That looks full.
Oh, that's close. It was literally... Obviously, he runs out of bullets because it shouldn't have through the wall. Not quite doing the damage, but we've seen that spot from Cellium before. You know he's going to play it. Let's see. Oh, this is going to be absurdly close. Oh. I'm going to say, what, less than half a second?
Yeah, something along those lines. A bullet difference, a bullet missed. May have decided that round. The wall bang from Cellium. Envoy got 3 as well. And this time they get a chance to attack. See if they do anything a little... Backstun's not as good as he probably would have liked it.
Tough one to take. Envoy now. Oh, hello. Let's get out there. That's another first blood for aBeZy. It's a second kill from aBeZy. This man just loves LSCLO search and destroy. Just loves search and destroy in general. Can he find it? Oh, great snap from Kenny. It's actually going to make it a 1 versus 1 now. Octane against Slasher.
And here we go. The battle we highlighted at the start of this series. Veterans, and high-performing veterans at that. Dead silence pop for Octane. Bomb scooped up. Has to make a decision now. This is what it will come down to in the end. And while he goes for this plant, it gives Slasher an opportunity to catch him on the out if he goes for it.
Slasher holds the angle. Nicely done. Octane was thinking he's coming down low, but no. Slasher up top and waiting for the daddy to hit its spots, but that's 2-0 to Atlanta FaZe. It's 2 first bloods and 2 rounds. No better team at converting them. It's an absurd stat line again. I was looking at these before the game and I'm like, wow, these boys are something different. 78% of the time when they get that first blood, they are converting the round. It is a CDL high stat. The highest in the league, and you're getting a first-hand look. Yes, okay, that was a 1 versus 1, but they just move around the map and use their numbers advantage to the best of their ability. And we're seeing that first-hand again. 2-0 to FaZe here.
And you got to say, obviously, both of them kind of knew the angle they had to play. That's the crazy thing. I said it before. They kind of know tendencies of each other team. Let's get on board with aBeZy. The first blood maestro himself. Will he find anything this time? Simp opens the door. aBeZy throws the stun. First check here. All bangs coming through. aBeZy might go for a move here. Dead silence popped. Wants his health to regen. There it goes. Now can move. Slasher finds the first blood this time around, though.
Slasher allowed by aBeZy to find that first blood. Now pushing in over towards there. These first bloods are just really hurting the side of Thieves. FaZe just play them so well. Kenny, peekaboo. Yep, aBeZy's already here and waiting. Octane having the back gun down. 2 versus 4 now for the side of Thieves.
They're trying to get in any sort of position for any sort of a pick. Slasher's going to be up top as well, and Octane's going to try and take the gunfight, but it's a 1 versus 4. He finds the first out. The problem's going to be the rest of FaZe will have gone to ground.
There's just nowhere, right? Oh, good shots. No snap is not quick enough, though. aBeZy is frying Thieves at the moment. I think we all remember the 1 versus 3. Hasn't had to find himself in any of those situations just yet, but a 5-2 KD. And just a moment again to talk about how far ahead this guy is of everybody. You know, this is actually coming from Tim, of course, but the first blood rate, as far as everybody else goes, he is above and beyond everybody else. Like the per round, the amount of first bloods that aBeZy is finding per round on a general average is 0.27. The next best is 0.2 in Shotzzy. And again, it doesn't sound a lot. It is a massive difference. aBeZy, best search and destroy player in the game at the moment. We're getting a first-hand look at it again here on LSCLO.
Thieves, this time around, trying to see if they can get the first blood and they can convert, but door goes open. First blood to FaZe. Wow. Door closed. That simple. Looking for it. This could be a push here for them as well. Lots of stuns going through. Simp will get away with his life, but aBeZy will drop to Envoy. Now it goes down to a 3 versus 3.
We'll be hearing this. Easy kill for Envoy. Slasher will find one on Octane though. 2 versus 2. This is looking like a more likely round for the side of Thieves. Are you going to challenge that on the Cellium? Of course you are. Kenny's here to help. Now 1 versus 1.
Slasher looks for him on the outside, but
he'll be hearing this surely.
Has hit the movement. He's going slow. That's why he's doing it. Oh, he's going to come behind him now, I think.
He's downstairs.
Oh, he's below him. It's all right. Can't tell context from that direction. Here comes the drop, and he's going to see him as well. Has to get out of there. And Slasher expects to reach out. Kenny goes for the plant.
Oh, it's bold. Let's ball from the side of Kenny. Now he has the info as well. He can back him down, but Slasher still in a terrible spot.
You see him as well. Kenny goes for it and gets it with the Vaznev. Unbelievable. I'm fair saying Kenny actually jumped over some of the traces from Slasher in that round when he was wallbanging the door. But that was a dangerous position for Kenny as well. A bullet or two missed and Slasher might have been able to do something.
Honestly, it was really good shots from both of them. Kenny managing to hit them onto Slasher there with the Vaznev is at the disadvantage in that scenario. Slasher, the second hit, the bullets though. And that is what's going to make the difference. Thieves get themselves on the board. So that is 3 out of 4 first bloods converted for the side of FaZe, but 4 out of 4 first bloods, of course, going in their favor. If Thieves can start finding some, they'll be in a little bit of a better spot. Drazah typically is a good S&D performer for the side of Thieves, not getting things done quite yet. Envoy holding in over towards it. A little bit of a slower setup from FaZe.
The trophy's going to go down. Envoy trying to just slow their roll a little bit.
Back them down.
You can see FaZe looking for an angle, and it's going to be caught as well. Laying down in the middle of it. Won't even get the trade from Octane. 2 have gone down from Thieves. And they will take full control of this bomb site as Octane and Drazah will now have to clutch.
It just always feels like the Thieves are at a disadvantage. It's not working out for them so far. Octane, surely they know where you are. Good shots on the Cellium nonetheless. 2 versus 3.
And now, can they find the rest of it? It is going to be difficult to dig them out, and he's not going to. The 1 versus 3 for Octane, left again in a clutch scenario. Won't even find the first bomb site as a flying FaZe player comes through the wall. And Atlanta FaZe continue to look dominant and confident on this S&D. Oh, it wasn't even aBeZy. It's going to be Slasher.
I think Slasher had seen him and he was chasing him down. That's why you see aBeZy come flying out of mid-map into bar, and he's like, yeah, well, we know where he is. FaZe dominant so far, the best S&D team in the game at this stage for me. I think a few people would have argued former Florida, not looking too hot at the minute. Vegas, of course, as well. But FaZe seem a different level at this moment in time. Looking to tie the series up 2 rounds away from doing so.
Simp making a play with the dead silence, looking for the first. Going to find that first
again
as well. And they've let him straight through. Advantage again to FaZe. aBeZy now pops his own dead silence, and it's Envoy in a 1 versus 3. They're going to find him as well, and he gets away with his health, but that information means he will now be hunted down as bullets fly all around this map. And yep, he's back in spawn.
I'll keep talking about it. That is now 6 first bloods in a row for FaZe. We're going to go perfect here. You'd like to think they're going to make this 5-1, but can Envoy pull something out of the fire here? Cellium spotted him. Here come the rest of them. There you go. Another round to FaZe. This is as dominant as you could possibly want if you're an Atlanta FaZe fan. Search and Destroy is looking quite final.
Over and over again, Thieves just don't seem to look like they are comfortable on this map. They lose the first bloods. Their angles are open. And FaZe keep finding it just over and over again. It's one of these ones where they watch the VOD going, yep, we left it open this 1 round out of 8 and they found it.
Can Thieves find a bounce back here? Drazah yet to get on the board. Not ideal from his point of view. Stun comes through, the check will be there. aBeZy another first blood. If they close out this round, they would have done it in every single round of El Asilo here against the Thieves. It's now a 3 versus 4. 3 versus 2, sorry, in their favor.
Kenny playing patient. The doors are closed, and that presents a little bit of an issue for him. He would like to go through there and see if he could just peek and find somebody. We might see Simp. He's going to see it. No, but Simp sees him first, and Kenny goes down. Octane left in a clutch again. I feel like I'm just repeating myself, but the rounds have basically all been the same.
Same old story. Octane left. 1 versus 3. He has been quite often left on his own, but that is as high level of a search and destroy as you could possibly want from Atlanta FaZe. Thieves just not at the races. Drazah, I don't believe he found a kill and will walk away and have to regain after that. But FaZe, you find the first bloods, you win the S&Ds. It's as simple as that. And they did it every single round.
And FaZe, I feel like there is very little from LA Thieves that you could say, oh, they were doing this wrong. It was just first blood after first blood. Drazah never found a kill the entire game. Didn't even get the damage for a full kill at the end of it, realistically. Like, kind of a crazy round for them. But the first bloods, it's just clinical from them. There shouldn't be that many.
I mean, at this stage, I like, just to reiterate what I've been saying, Tim's putting some good stuff out there on Twitter. Make sure to follow all of our stats, guys. But like, to see the graph that he actually put up, to see the difference between normal people and aBeZy in terms of these first bloods. He was the one that found the most again on FaZe, who found every single one of them. And when you're at that much of a disadvantage, that many rounds in a row, this kind of scoreline is going to happen.
Hey, on a positive,
okay,
Drazah has got himself into a very elite club. Third donut of the season, I believe, with Nero and Vivid. So you win some, you lose some, really.
First one in the top 250 in round play, though.
Hey, that's very true. Well, we said it'd be a good series, but that S&D was kind of insane with the first bloods ton, and I don't know how much more we can break down about it. I'm guessing that the Thieves are going to have to really look and figure out a way to stop aBeZy.
Yeah, they need to. I mean, look, map number 1 was really good performance from the side of Thieves, but they'll be looking back at that search and destroy, because you can see, if that first blood happens so many times, you can see what's going wrong. I'm sure they'll review it and they will come back stronger, but that's going to be a tough one to take. Control coming up next. You need to fix your heads and get into it, because this is going to be an important one based on what we see in map number 2. You don't want to see map number 5.
You certainly don't. Well, let's find out how map number 3 will go after this break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more action here on the Call of Duty League. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the CDL. There's our wonderful control room showing you all the point of views, and that's why it's not easy to run a production setup, well, compared to what some people on social media say. But this is a wonderful group of people, and I love them all, and I'm probably going to just send them a massive box of donuts at some point, Tom.
Well, why would you spoil it? I know you said it.
Hey,
you said it to me before.
I love them.
Spoil it.
I love them. They're getting a present.
All right, okay. I do like them as well, but you know, if you want to be a KiSMET, you feel free, bro. Yeah, you know. I mean, it sounds like they're keen for the donuts. They're keen for the donuts. Shout out to all those guys back there, though. Thank you very much. We got a donut map number 2 as well. Priestahh, we forget about that one. I don't think Drazah will for a little while. That one is a tough one to take, but FaZe steamrolled through Thieves in map number 2. After Thieves with a really comfortable map number 1. This series is set up very nicely as we head into map number 3. The records pretty similar. Of course, you can see the offensive win rate there for the side of FaZe is looking a little bit better, but overall, both these two teams are very good at wholesale control. It's a bit of a square up. Which way does this one go?
Oh, at the moment, can we get the first blood? And there is a kind of a trick here, by the way, you can play on this B push if you are the first team, because the defending team won't have trophies. So if you'll run it through all your nades, they're effectively a bit more effective because nothing will block them. But it hasn't worked out at the moment for them, and they will go for A here at this point, Thieves.
Somebody's been playing rank play, haven't they?
Yeah,
here we go. Thieves get themselves over towards the A side. It's going to be a lock on to get them a hold of this one. FaZe will not have a chance now to maybe counteract this as Drazah will find Cellium. Just a note on Thieves as well. They won 8 controls in a row before they were stopped in that grand finals against FaZe, losing both. But this A point is going to go over towards the side of Thieves now. Got a full 2 minutes to make their way over towards B. Octane will find Simp on the way around. These kills towards the back are influential. How many times have we talked about it? Bedroom control is paramount. Got to make sure you lock it in. This is really nice from Thieves.
We're going for that fast break, and you are right.
Oh, wow.
The only thing that stands ahead of them is going to be a player in bedroom. aBeZy. Can he do that first tick? He's slowly but surely coming in. It's already through. Drazah now trying to set up for the wrong side. aBeZy finds a kill at the same time. And they're putting the squeeze and they go down, and it's a fight every single direction. Can he come away with the first trade? It's him versus Slasher. Has to just stay ducking and diving.
Staying alive as best he can. Drazah to the rescue. Now FaZe spawning out. Nobody inside a bedroom. If you have Thieves, yeah, okay, we could say just stack it, but make sure you find these kills. The big push through mid-map's going to come in. Octane will find one. Drazah another. Is that the round of the back?
Well, Drazah's the last player alive. It will slowly go through as he's just going to play his life. Slasher goes for it. It's no good.
Lovely.
It's done.
Wow.
Thieves go A, go B, win.
I mean, getting themselves over towards A, it's a nice little slay out there. You get the job done. All right, if you're FaZe, you're not panicking. But the transition is what makes the difference there. Octane and Code towards the back, get the job done. And FaZe have to rely on that player in bedroom. Yeah, okay, we talk about it so often. Being in bedroom is so important. But if you found 3 towards the back, who's left alive on the map? It's aBeZy. Where the hell else is he going to be? If you're Thieves, you are aiming towards that top bedroom. Yes, okay, it does poke out and find one, but that is it. Thieves, that was very, very efficient. Get it done in pretty much record time. Now they have to defend. Well done.
Ready for kills going down. Drazah looking to get off that donut and just put some pressure on this control. Simp now looking for a little bit of control himself, looking for the players he knows going to be in kitchen. You can see Atlanta FaZe starting to get into position, but they've got to deal with Kenny.
Simp is, yeah, to try and ease some of this pressure that Thieves are putting on. You can see Thieves on the minimap. Just having a little look. They know A is not the be-all and end-all if you do go on to lose it. Just a little bit of a squeeze here. Even if they don't find the kills to retake this, they're in a position to stop FaZe going any further.
aBeZy finds the first as well as they look forward to get into this, and somehow
they're all dead.
Against Octane. 1 health remaining, and now moving fast. Actually going to get a little bit stunned, so his health stops regenerating as well. It stops him in his track as the nade will hit him at the same time. Thieves already looking to lock this one down and not let them through.
Good shots coming in from Octane to eventually clean up on Slasher. Envoy there to help with Cellium. Simp still past the halfway line though. The rest of the team on the way. Well cleaned out by Thieves. And got rid of one of the FaZe players that was going to cause issue And that got a little bit scary for a second. That collapse on over towards A said it's to contain FaZe as much as you can. So you've got at least some information as to where they are. They all get wiped and nearly get punished for it. With Thieves now, less about holding your spawn. But, I mean, the spawn into bottom lights is going to, bless aBeZy. That caught me off guard.
And here's the thing. They're going to send aBeZy in to bedroom and try to see if he can dig them out. For the rest of the Thieves, they are digging in themselves. Let's do a listen in with LA Thieves and find out how they're feeling in the comms.
Dig right. I'm staying on mid. Go ahead, go ahead. He's bottom bed, he's on the ladder,
Hey, I'm on the vent. You're very slow. Yeah, you're very slow.
He can be got at instant comes. Hot the wall. Another one. Cat, dead.
Nice. He's still bottom bed.
I killed MC.
No, Tyler. Oh, hit light stairs. Top light's going bottom bed. Bottom bed. He's standing on the ladder. Tyler.
There he goes.
Let's go. He's top. One shot, Simp going cat, res late.
I might be able to pick it up from Dove.
Cat late. He's big as fuck. Top bed 2 sec. Gotta live. He's there. Low bed, one shot.
Good job, Sam.
Hey, I'm top left.
Low bed going top ladder. You can chill.
I'm on our bed. Take me checking.
D2.
And ladder.
Ladder. Nice ladder.
I'm checking. Ladder point.
Top lights and point. There you go.
Alright, now we can low
I'm top bed.
I'm top bed.
D1. One shot.
Hey, I have
D1.
And home, we're going to speed of the comms accelerates. Thieves get a little bit panicked, a little bit flustered, but they hold every single direction. The huge wrap in bedroom, by the way, just caught out of FaZe a little bit off guard. But Thieves hold it, and there is a great example of how comms can change from point to point. Thieves sounded calm when they were trying to figure out where FaZe were and were applying the pressure. And then it got mixy, and everybody was spitting.
And that's what it has to be like. I mean, you listen to Thieves, and I think a huge highlight of Octane and what he brings to a team is his comms. They are, for me, the best in the game. Whenever we go to listen-ins, I'm always thinking about what's Octane saying. He's always so slow and calm. But then, you're right, because FaZe start panicking. There's not much more time to go here. We have to start moving fast, so do the comms. LA Thieves get the job done, though. That's 2-0 now. An attacking defense underneath their belt. They're looking over towards A. Trying to lock it in nice and early. It'll be a good 2 minutes and 16 seconds if they can do it perfectly here. Over towards the restaurant.
Will Simp go for this? It could be the double chow. One up high, one down low, but Cellium will eventually get the trade. Envoy's going to look for it as well. Cellium is not going to have any joy. That is A secured again very, very fast. Can they repeat the magic trick?
FaZe don't have anybody in bedroom here, but the problem is Thieves will expect it. So everybody from the front, and now come FaZe. Drazah towards the back has got a job to do here. Should get traded, will get traded. Simp will take him down. Octane not in a bad spot, though, to slow down any pressure that FaZe will start to put on. There's a spawn over towards kitchen, though, so that will give them the indication somebody is over here towards bedroom. Of course, it is aBeZy. aBeZy now dead. Octane's done well. Map a little bit all over the place here, but not a bad spot for the side of Thieves.
Looking for a few more kills, and Octane will probably want control. Jumps out with a wide chow and wipes him off the map. It's given Atlanta FaZe an opportunity. They're moving into bedroom, they're moving into lights. They just want to keep pushing this one forward. And it's going to take a little while. Kenny's going to go on the flank, but it's going to take some time for that to become active.
I'd have loved to see that kill from Simp from his POV. That looked disgusting. 40-6 from Envoy. Needs to keep continuing to clear out the side of FaZe, but Cellium towards the back is causing a lot of issues as well. Feels like Thieves are kind of headbutting at the moment. Need to slow this one down, maybe be a bit more meticulous. But is that maybe just FaZe the ones that are making it a little bit chaotic? Great shots coming in there across the map, but still, FaZe in control. Lives, somehow even.
Drazah ready to put the pressure on the side. Cellium going to be waiting for him as well. And right now, Thieves cannot find any purchase. They're trying to figure out a way through this as Slash continues it going forward. Every single time we're seeing a FaZe member push through and find members of the Thieves. It is frustrating them as they can't get all 4 of their players on the right side of the map. Oh, wait.
This is a chance. aBeZy the slasher over towards the back though, but Thieves have that information. I'm pretty sure they know at least one of the players is here. If they can scope out the other, this will help as they are on point. They're counting it down, but aBeZy will be there to find one. Slasher still alive towards the back as well. Still going. It's aBeZy and Slasher towards bedroom. Last 2 alive momentarily for FaZe, and you can see that Thieves are pushed up. Final opportunity, 15 seconds to go.
Already a few kills going down. Atlanta FaZe hold all the cards. Simp gonna look for this player as well, finds him. And while the pressure will come through, aBeZy is waiting. Envoy will fall to him at the same time. Comes out, looks for the second kill, gets it easily. And aBeZy waiting in the wings will shut down the Thieves' attack.
Lovely stuff. Once again, just doing his job to the highest level. But that's only the first round for FaZe. They still need to find an attack of their own. And then based on the slaying, I mean, it's hard to say. We'll keep an eye on it. Looking towards the ticks there as well. I don't think Thieves got much over towards the B side. I'd have to have it confirmed. But either way, things looking good still for the side of Thieves. What can FaZe do to answer back here? Can we see a round number 5, or do Thieves head into the lead over towards Embassy?
aBeZy already moving forward, being aggressive here this time on A, and the kills will just fall their way this time. And LA Thieves probably won't even bother coming over to this point. They're not going to find a kill here. They'll be looking for an exit and to spread this map out.
Nice from Slasher there. I actually quite like that. It's heads up play. Expecting the pinch to start to come through, and again, Thieves did that last time. They wanted to set up around the point, squeeze FaZe in, at least get a count on exactly where they are to help them formulate a better defensive plan. But Slasher slowly making his way around, his teammates making their way around towards the side of the Thieves spawn. Good check from Kenny though. Catches Slasher out. It's a bit of bad timing on his behalf, but nonetheless, look at where aBeZy is. He will cause issue here. They just need to set up with him. It's a push through bedroom. You got to clear that out. Look at Envoy all the way towards the back. They'll prime them ready to go over towards bedroom when needed.
On a 4 streak at the moment, aBeZy wants to make it 5. Will be heard here by Octane, and almost gets a 360 as he goes through the door. But Octane will find both and shut down that flank completely. And now they move. Thieves looking for more bedroom control. They are not allowing them to do anything, no matter what fancy magical tricks aBeZy tries to pull.
And the thing is here, Thieves don't know exactly where the side of FaZe are spawning. They are going to find a little crack in the defense of Thieves here, and aBeZy will find Octane. Now this is panic stations for the side of Thieves. They've got to get themselves over there. Slasher will find another. This is a big opportunity.
They have managed to get their way through.
Gotta go.
Envoy needs to find something here as well. That second tick is in. The third is rocking forward as well.
Oh, it's gone.
Thieves can find nothing. He dives into the point, into the gun of Slasher. And Atlanta FaZe find a win. It's all tied up as we move towards round number 5.
Oh, and if you're Thieves, you've got all the information you want. You're pushed so far up that it forces the kitchen spawn. Somebody in restaurant to cut off anything going on over there. You got someone towards the back of bedroom as well. It's actually Envoy all the way to the car park. Just chilling, waiting for players to transition over. But you cannot account for the fact that you all get gunned. For Thieves, that's pretty much played the round perfectly until they didn't. Atlanta FaZe do a good job of getting themselves out. And all of a sudden, out of nothing, it's 2 rounds in a row from them after Thieves started with 2 rounds in a row of their own. And we go to a round number 5. It's Atlanta FaZe on the attack. Can they do that again?
And now they're looking for it. aBeZy on the attack. Thieves this time have stacked it as well. Envoy will find that first blood.
Oh, they're ready.
Envoy finds a second. aBeZy will have to try and do something pretty spectacular here as he gets away with it and eventually falls at the same time. They've got to be careful here though, Thieves. Bit of a split going through. Which one do they commit to?
Yeah, a bit of a stretch over for the side of Atlanta FaZe. If you're Thieves, what do you make the decision to do here? Okay, they're going to clear A off now, and now they're going to be pulled over towards the B side. Slasher is set up here. This is lovely from the side of FaZe. Great shots from Slasher. Are they going to line up for any more? Here they come through the middle of the map. Thieves trying for the retake.
Already that second tick's going through. At some point, they have to go with it. That team kill could move to Dashy. Cellium takes a Semtex to the face, but is alive. Simp still laying down, goes for the kill onto him, and B is locked in. B is locked in. I was just double checking there, and Thieves will have to settle to defending A. There is an order on a menu, and it's one item. It's snakes, and it's going to the restaurant, because that's what they're going to have to do to hold this for almost 2 minutes.
We have seen teams hold it. We have seen it happen. It is not completely done and dusted here for the side of FaZe. Really good player by Thieves. They are locking down Kitchen. They need to hold this as best they can. It spawns FaZe away. It makes it just a little bit harder to get over towards that side of the map. And something in the favor of Thieves is the lives as well. There's only 14 remaining for FaZe with 1:20 to go. You've got to be a little bit more careful with your lives here.
Octane feeling the pressure, you know, and he doesn't find anybody, just waiting for them
Big shots.
Kenny continuing to run rampant. 15 and 23 so far, but these kills now matter. Drazah finds one on the flank as well. And Thieves are doing a great job of splitting this map in half and keeping control of A.
Oh, wow. It's great shots from Slasher. Drazah has to back down from his position, but you wouldn't be expecting Kenny inside of Jewel. There's one. The second perfectly set up with the stun. Slasher, the next one on the chopping block, potentially he will find the kill. Finds a second as well with the grenade. Simp inside the point. The snake's on point from Drazah. Finds a second. All alone, he had to find that. The rest of the Thieves now on the way, but FaZe are here in numbers as well.
And Drazah just staying alive on a 4-streak as well.
47
rubber ankles, boing, boing, just continuing going as the pressure will mount here. Come out of FaZe. He has to keep on going with it as well. So he's got him on tape, just throwing every bit of that he can do as well.
Look at Envoy.
The flank from Envoy will have to come through. The Denny could
silent.
hero play, but they are snaking in restaurant every single step of the way, and he gets two. Surely not the third. Oh! Gun slasher! And oh my goodness! The flank pays out from Envoy's huge map. 29 and 17, and the snakes have been thrown into a pit that Indiana Jones will fall in at some point. But my goodness, what an ending!
Observer's MVP for getting to that one. You've seen him on the minimap. I was ready to call it myself. And he makes the smart play about not shooting immediately. He knows the snake is going to be going on. He can't just go for the heads. He moves himself round into the position where he can pounce as quickly as possible. Finds two, slashes the next one. Lovely stuff from Envoy, and what was looking like a round that was well played from Thieves. And then FaZe break in. But Envoy says absolutely not. It is a stellar map from him at 29 and 17. 25 non-traded kills. What a game.
What an ending, and the stress he must have been feeling to hit that pinch at that time. The Denny was ticking, his teammates were falling, and he finds it when he needs it. Also, a big shout to Drazah. He held the fort as long as he could. What a ridiculous game of control. We knew what that restaurant was going to come down to. Everybody bouncing like the pogo sticks were on sale.
Despicable, really. But I mean, look at a perfect counter from Envoy. He knows exactly what's going to happen in that situation. He knows where they're going to be, and he uses it to his advantage. I'm sure we'll obviously get a replay of it towards the end of these highlights. But it was a really good start from Thieves. FaZe started clawing back like they always do. They are never out of it until the game is over.
Well, I guess Thieves let the FaZe up. They can do it too. Oh, that control was great.
That was really good.
I was thinking it was going to be pretty faster after I saw Thieves get the first two, but FaZe had a really good fight of it, and if it wasn't for this play...
Yeah, here we go, here we go.
End.
Yeah, he knows what they're going to do. Slasher watching the back. You ain't watching nothing, son. Lovely from Envoy to close it out. And I really feel like that was a must-win for the side of Thieves. Looking towards the eliminations, it's a pretty heavy outside from the side of Thieves, of course, with the 3-2 victory. 29 and 17 from both Drazah and Envoy. Both with 5 assists as well. Perfectly balanced, like everything should be.
Yeah, really big game for them as well. I mean, they did have 3 defenses, but it came down to just the tiniest thing there as well. Like, you got to think, if Slasher had found him, there was basically no way Thieves were breaking back into that point. There was too many ready for it. With LA, they find the second respawn. They want the third.
aBeZy hardpoint coming up. Hey, I tell you what, this has been a good one, hasn't it? The close out of the week. Lovely stuff. Honestly, we kind of expected this as a potential for a really good game, because Thieves against FaZe, it's pretty much guaranteed every single time. But with Thieves' online form, there was a query, especially we were sitting in the green room thinking to ourselves, okay, this should be good, but it might not be, because FaZe have been so good recently, but Thieves very much turning up here after what was a very disappointing start to their stage 3 with a loss to the side of Vegas, but looking great so far. This whole point, though, it is a bit more of a difficult one. We didn't see a great performance from Thieves on it the other day. Atlanta looked pretty decent at 7-4. Rotations is going to be important. Both two teams not necessarily setting any records in that regard on this map in particular. Atlanta with a very slight edge, I would say, heading into this one, and a Greenberg Hotel search and destroy. We may well see it, but based on what we've seen in map number 2, I don't think Thieves want to.
No. I think FaZe are on the cusp of breaking the S&D record streak, right? So like that is just something you never want to face. Like you're never going to sit there and go, oh yeah, you know, maybe we get to a map 5 we can take it, but not against this team. The thing is, the Thieves have been looking very good in the respawn, but with these two teams, I can never really count anything out. They've done their vetoes, they've done their homework, they're both incredibly talented.
Both solid squads. A lot of people would argue the two best teams in the game at the moment, really going toe-to-toe here. Now, aBeZy is a map we didn't see in the grand final between these two teams. And just having a look at some of the base stats heading towards it, as mentioned, both teams very much on the lower end of things when it does come down to rotations. 9th and 11th respectively for the side of LA Thieves, and then Atlanta. But Atlanta with the edge in breaking, which is surprising considering what we've seen from Thieves on in general. But Envoy having a great series so far. S&D wasn't too hot. The other two, though, looking great. A 1.38 overall. And do not underestimate those 3 kills towards the end. I mean, I think you would struggle to. Really big plays coming out from Envoy. The KD of a 1.38 doesn't justify the plays that this man has been making for the squad.
I think it's always good between these because realistically, when you look at both teams, every single player has been called an X Factor at some point. Like, it's just a fact of how it is. You think map number 1, Octane, had a ridiculous series. You know, aBeZy in the S&D went off. We know there are superstars, and the talent is so deep in both of these rosters, and they haven't changed in a while. Like I said, Slash is the newest addition to this, right? And even we know, like, the statistics for him are phenomenal. And it's one of the reasons, like, I'm so confident right now to say that realistically, basically, unless something changes, every single major moving forward, you wouldn't be outside saying top 3 is expected for both of these at all times.
We will probably see this as a grand final again this season. I wouldn't put it past it. It wouldn't surprise me whatsoever. Both these two teams, when it does come to LAN especially, have really been performing so far. Or at least did in Boston. Hey, after last year, you never know. We might have a completely different final every single time. Until it gets towards the end of the year, when we do maybe get some consistency. It's very hard to benchmark for the most part of where we are sitting at with teams in terms of rankings. Yeah, okay, we've got a general idea. And I think a lot of people would still probably put FaZe as the #1 team in the game, and rightfully so. But Thieves are not far off, and very much showing it here in this series. And map number 4 beckons. FaZe are behind. For how long is the question? And again, just to reiterate, aBeZy 7-4 record for the side of Atlanta. FaZe Thieves is sitting at 4-4. Game has dropped. Their time will hopefully be the charm, because I know everybody at home wants to get into this aBeZy hard point. It's been a banger of a series so far, Brycey.
It has been a great series, and maybe that's just why they're just tantalizing the taste buds to figure out who comes out in front of this one. Ton, if you had to be put on the spot, if you had to call it, how do you think this map actually goes?
I'm gonna go with a curveball.
Okay.
I'm gonna say
This
Atlanta.
is gonna be horrific. I already know it.
I think Atlanta FaZe might blow them away, to be honest with you. I'm feeling like a big redemption game coming in. It wouldn't surprise me if this is a 100-point win from the side of FaZe, just based on how we've seen them bounce back. They don't seem to be deterred by a map loss. They are very happy to head into a map number 4 behind. They know they have the credentials to go on to win any map, and Simp so far in Major 2. I mean, sorry, this was a Major 2 Grand Finals KD. It was a 1.08, a 1.29 in the Search and Destroy. And those kind of numbers from him are not surprising. Played crazy against Florida yesterday, and now looking to add to that with another good game here against the Thieves. And he's been pretty solid. But I just, again, when it comes to FaZe, when they win it, it feels just like they have another level to hit. If they do hit that other level here, I fully believe we're heading to a map number 5.
All right, well, we'll have to find out. We're going to go for a quick break while we fix something. I think all the snaking, somebody broke their ankle, so we're going to get that fixed, and then we'll be back for this next map. So don't go anywhere. We'll see you right after this break for more Call of Duty League. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Call of Duty League. I believe the bugs have been ironed out and everything has been fixed. If you are just joining us, LA Thieves versus Atlanta FaZe. Currently, it's going to be LA Thieves leading after an incredible control against FaZe. 2-1 is the series score. Hard points up next.
Here we go, aBeZy. Hopefully. No, production stops ruining my day. It's not going to happen and we're not going in. Third time was not the charm. PC's unfortunately having an issue. I mean, Atlanta FaZe just on there.
Wow. I don't know if it's the PC's having an issue or whether 3 of the players have just vanished. Maybe Thanos has been in the middle of the break and we've just lost them. Well, that would be 4, which is upsetting. But we didn't get all of them. There we go. Now it works. It's half of them have disappeared.
Well, I don't know. You know, I'm sure Temper's at the FaZe facility. Maybe they're getting a highlight of an unreleased track. Maybe something along those lines.
LA Thieves look very, very comfortable. I'll tell you that, though. Kenny's having a good time.
They're feeling good. They're 2-1 up in this series, Bryce. They've got to be feeling good. The respawns have looked fantastic. The search and destroy, not that great, but you are going up against FaZe. And I mean, I'm going to save some of these stats if we do go into map number 5 because we've got a few more of what it's just absurd. From like aBeZy is on a different level. I think we all kind of have come to that agreement. But again, some of the numbers that back that up just further cement as the best search and destroy player in the game. But Major number 2 is where they of course went on to win the event, and FaZe have looked really good since then. Looking for a bounce back here, though they are behind in the series.
Well, they certainly have. And speaking of Major 2, while we wait to get this 100% sorted, here's a recap of everything you might have missed.
What's up, everybody? Welcome in. We got a jam-packed house, and it is going to be an epic day of Call of Duty.
Planes get canceled, luggage get lost, but it don't matter, okay? Because I got the hottest fans in the game here with me.
Can you hear my heartbeat pounding?
Y'all ready to get the matches going?
OpTic, without question, have the edge.
What have we just seen?
Joey D, what can you tell me about the Thieves right now?
They are world champions for a reason.
Minnesota, when they get dialed in, they will pull out their sneaky tricks. FaZe group, the squad that everyone would always just put automatically into the finals. It's been bitter cold out there in Boston. But Mother Nature's got nothing on these Call of Duty loving Homo sapiens.
Here we go, threads the needle.
Here he comes! What a ridiculous storyline we've had here.
Down and down we go.
Thieves lose to OpTic in the very first match of the tournament. Now we see them 9 straight victories.
I don't forgive, I don't forget, I don't regret. You do me wrong, I'll tag along. Like a hit song, get down on.
This is going to be an epic rematch, a chance for redemption if you're the LA Thieves.
And LA Thieves will move forward in this tournament again.
Atlanta FaZe, they've been booed.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. The map has started. We're straight into it this time. Welcome to the hard point. We're on board with Envoy. P1 has started. The guns are up. We're good.
Oh, well, I wonder if that break is ice to the side of Thieves. Or has it? It's a good start for them as they will start to pick up some points. And typically they are a squad who do well on P1 in the grand scheme of things. They are the team who pick up a good, solid amount of time. But P2 has been a massive struggle for them. We'll get a first-hand look at that within this first minute and 20 seconds. But let's see how things are going to go down. Drazah locking down up top, just trying to stay alive. aBeZy is there though to shut that down. Bit of a mixy map to kick things off. Where can FaZe get themselves set up here for P2?
And this is all about it. Kenny's already been found that they're looking for him. Can aBeZy go for the tower? Be Kenny this time around, ton.
Big win. Managed to find that. That shuts down anything looking over towards P1, which would have helped FaZe get some time. They're still getting some time. I'd imagine Kenny will pick it, and he does. And now it's all about these transitional kills. aBeZy behind them, though. Need to clear them out as quickly as he can. There's 2 just to break things wide open. Centers onto Kenny, but he will shut him down. But that has allowed just a little bit of a gap for FaZe to push through. Slasher 4-0 to kick things off. And there's the break for FaZe.
Okay, let's get away from that car. They fires two as well. Neither team really been able to touch this. Eventually, it will be the Thieves being able to get into this point, but so much time has elapsed with so few points scored.
This is a nice setup now from the side of Thieves. Spawn in's gonna come in towards the car park there, and Cellium might actually just come and clean up. Didn't expect the second one to be there. Thieves then spawning back there towards the back car park as well, so it's kind of all over the place, and he was actually going to come out of these gunfights. It will be the side of Thieves. 15 seconds to go. FaZe will lick their wounds, walk away, and set themselves up over towards the P3 side. Slasher heading over towards this side, expecting the push to come in from the car park, and the perfect setup was kind of there for both two teams. Spawns, of course, as mentioned, a little bit funky. Well, P3 is going to be here now for the side of FaZe. Can they lock in some decent time? Rotations are the name of the game. When it does come down to for the side of FaZe, both two teams a little bit lower on the side of things, but can they get it done? Yes, they can. aBeZy finds two. Slasher, another. They're able to lock this one in. Thieves really nowhere to be seen, with FaZe setting up over towards P4 as well. By the way, we have lost Pricey. I haven't just decided just to talk forever. Still locking this one in though. Shots flying through. Octane will have to back on down as the shots will then connect from FaZe. Slasher is here to help clean this up. The only one that can really do anything over the side of Thieves is going to be Envoy, who's going to be heading over towards that rotation and over towards P4. But this game is very much even as we head into a fourth hill. Octane may well be there for this side of Thieves to maybe pick up some scrap time. He will be, but FaZe are the first ones here heading over towards P4. Bryson, you back?
I am certainly back. Fortunately, all the little things that can happen during a broadcast, but it doesn't matter because this game is still underway as both teams trade blows across the map. A lot of FaZe looking to lock down a little bit of time here and get their lead back. The rest of Thieves spreading out, desperately searching for a group, and they've got him. Only one left alive as Cellium has to try and deflect them, but then Thieves are hunting him down. He's got a dash to back him up, and somehow he's still alive in this position. Looks for the second, eventually shut down by Drazah, but what a break from Thieves.
Really well played. Hit them from so many different angles. It's kind of set up by the player who's still alive and kicking over towards it. And one player I just feel like we haven't spoke about so much in this series. I feel like everybody else has had their highlight moments. Kenny going off at 11 at 8. Big shots coming in from Octane again. It's all three players from FaZe that were pushing him. Sent to the respawn queue. Sent over towards the next hill. That final bit of scrap time over to Thieves. Envoy already here on the transition to Kitchen. Simp. Oh, it's a bit of a misplay actually from Envoy, but still alive and kicking. Just putting the pressure in, but it's looking like a FaZe lockdown as we head over towards P5.
Slasher will be called out by Kenny as he tries to get the right angle onto him and eventually will find him. And then now here comes the squeeze as well, straight through the door, and Simp will gun him down before anything more can happen. Octane trying to shoot two directions at once. Won't find it either. FaZe not in the best position they would want to be as they are slowly but surely losing map control to Thieves.
That's going to help. That's going to help for a little bit of a pinch here. Trying to find a way through. FaZe have to win their gunfights, and that's something they are pretty good at doing. All four dead. And that was looking like a situation for the side of Thieves that could have been dangerous. The pinch was there. It was very much looking like a break could come through. 20 seconds to play for here. FaZe looking like they're going to pick up every single one of those. Can Envoy? No, will come back in the middle of the map. May just well try and take away this final 10 seconds. Push comes through. Octane and Drazah get there. They will get away with that final 10 seconds. We're pretty much going to be tied as we head back over towards P1. Positionally, Thieves not in a terrible spot to be able to do something with this here, and as we mentioned at the top of this map, P1 is something that they do get a decent amount of time from over and over again. Can they do that here this time?
You can see both teams again fighting around this P1 for positioning. 9 points separates them, and it could have gone so differently for either team realistically as they're really putting the heaters onto this respawn. Slasher looking to make sure nobody comes up past AC for him. Eventually a little bit of time here now for Atlanta FaZe, but they have to get out of it as they lose the kills again. And it might be the same old story. Nobody wants to push, nobody wants to commit.
Oh, look at the spawn though, and that comes in over towards PD. FaZe will happily take that. Now it's about these rotational gunfights. 20 seconds until we get over towards P2. Simp is here to try and shut things down. Thieves have got plenty numbers, and they've actually picked up some really decent time over towards P1. The game is pretty much tied. It's now about 25 points, so good job from the side of Thieves. Car park control here as well. This is a nice setup that's transpired for the side of Thieves. Looking good over towards P2 as well.
They have a big lock in here, but will FaZe do not want to fall again in the hard point. So they're now going to stick the pressure on with the stack. Let's have a listen in with Atlanta FaZe.
Close time. Then one shot, back wall. One Bance. Yeah, I can't. One shot. All good. Take your time. Yeah. Gas. We play gas here. Still on the truck, yeah. Gas from mid. X from mid. I'm sorry. Two dead. Truck time. Trying to get Texans. Get a trophy. I need that. Trophy should be going. One shot. Stun. I'm trying. One time. Okay. All's dead. All's one shot, guys. Okay, all's inside. Try and get this. Can we close front? I'm with Tyler. Let's go, Orange. Yeah, stop with him. He's front time. I can't get him yet. Orange. Front dead. I got the side. Bullets can do. Maybe 20 type before you guys. Top here. Top here. Lots of tops on the heady. One step before, guys. I said. Top before. One shot. BC heady. Crossing sign. I'm trying. Sign right now. Weak. Orange. Orange dead. Nice. I've got the other one. Orange heavy dead. Nice. I'm shit too. Probably office. Right top office, yeah. On time. AC jumped at time. Top time. Top time got me, Sam. Yeah, and type before. Okay.
And some frustration from the side of FaZe starting to creep in some of those comms. A couple of size here and there. 70 points behind, it's a full 60, but we know how good they can be, and we know that that isn't something that could be too far away. Simp trying to lock down P3, he's got the help of Slasher here. 20 seconds left to play for here, and it is a crucial 20 seconds. They're not going to get it. Rotation does belong to them, but they would have liked that final 15, Bryce.
They certainly would. Strap in the seatbelt, so... We said frustration was hitting FaZe. They now need to hold off the Thieves. They need this time desperately. Drazah will be the first to fall. A trade comes through already with Kenny. And the pressure is coming. The hard point is popped. aBeZy looking for the kill, and he will get the first one. But he's weak for Octane. And as he goes around the corner, down he falls. Drazah finds a second, and Simp has to hold the gates. And down he falls to Drazah. It's a quick break for Thieves.
And the best breaking team on the game is showing it there. Approached from so many different angles. Kenny and Co just continuing to lock this time down. They broke 200 points. Instead, I thought that it might be actually FaZe to send us to a map number 5 by blowing Thieves away. The shoe is very much on the other foot here. Thieves in the ascendancy, Brycey. Dross has found 3 on his own as well. This might be game.
They have just pushed the back at every single thing here, and the worst part is FaZe now have to rotate, but when they rotate, they're only going to be about 10 seconds away. I think it's 12 seconds in total, and Thieves will be looking like a predator waiting. Here comes Kenny, but he finds none of them. Eventually we'll find one. I think Drazah will find it ridiculous. He gets more kills. He's on a 7 streak himself, 22 and 4. Oh, all right. Oh my goodness, this game is basically over, and they're trying to just keep them at bay, but FaZe find a break. But can they find 2 more hills?
Oh, remember that body shooting if this game turns on its head. It's still a long way to go for the side of FaZe. Thieves, 19 seconds away. We seem to pick up more than that. No, Simp's actually just going to beat Octane down at bottom toilets, and keep an eye on the spawns here for Thieves. Where do they want to set up? They have to try and not panic. 30 seconds still to go here over towards kitchen. No, they're going to have another stab.
Here they go. Slash already finds one, though. Drazah gonna find him as well. Gets him with the wall back. And aBeZy will have to win this gunfight, and he does. They're back into it. aBeZy with 2. Atlanta FaZe keeping the dream alive. Surely the body shots can't be that bad luck.
I'm nervous for him, because a lot of this kill feed has looked like FaZe throughout the last minute or so. 178 is the number they will hit before we head into the 3rd rotation of hills. Drazah here on Overwatch, and this is the position you want to be in to help defend your team. Thieves starting to take up a little bit of time. aBeZy wants that top control, gets it. 3 kills falling now towards the side of Atlanta FaZe. Thieves not spawning exactly where they want to, but they will continue to get time here, and that's ticking up.
And they have to be perfect, but aBeZy is being every bit of that. But realistically, FaZe have to go. They don't have the time to mess about. And Simp will find one. Looks for the second as well. Down he goes. But with 5 seconds left to go, Atlanta FaZe have to keep trading. They cannot afford to take any foot off the pedal. It's 3 seconds, and Thieves will keep throwing bodies at it. They've got another deflection. Oh, we will get one. Cellium will get it. They're set up for P2. Kenny's going to be sitting ambulance. And the worst part here for FaZe, they couldn't really get in any sort of position.
Oh, they might go for it here. They might go for it here. They have P2, but they may well go for it over towards P1. Octane, he's just watching over it. That's game.
It doesn't end with a bang, it ends with a whimper. The body shooting doesn't work out. Thieves played for the 7 seconds of scrap time, and they walk away with a victory, cooking on the hard points. The respawns are all them. And FaZe, while they had a bit of a comeback, put themselves in that position.
And it was just so fast and frantic towards the end, and FaZe is just starting to set up forward towards P2 because they know they need to. But it's such a double-edged sword because you have to keep contesting over towards P1. And in the end, it actually, I was about to comment that it feels like Thieves are being a little bit frantic towards it, but because they know they can be. They've got so much time to then try and break over towards P2. They chip away at it on P1. And I'm not gonna lie, that body shooting from Drazah had me a little bit worried for them because FaZe was starting to stretch their legs back into it. But it's a huge game from him, Octane, the whole LA Thieves squad. Get the job done.
Octane's beaten Slasher.
There it is, the first time in CDL history. I can't believe it. Unbelievable.
There we go. Records are broken. And they finally find it. Ridiculous there in the end. And Thieves in the respawns. A force to be reckoned with. Drazah, ridiculous. Octane, every bit as good as we know. But yeah, what a game. What a ridiculous game between these two. And I'm looking forward to see the breakdown from our wonderful, well-dressed desk.
Thank you, Bryce.
I feel pretty now. All right, excellent stuff here. The Thieves making our standings a little bit more interesting as we have a whole group now sitting at 1-1. Atlanta FaZe coming in here as the favorites, but it's not a best of 7. We have 2 hard points at a best of 5, and we saw it end in a game 4.
Well, you know what? It's never fun when there's a team that just starts steamrolling everybody else. So if anything, I'm happy this match ended up going LA Thieves' way, and the fact that they got their redemption. Octane finally has a win on Slasher in the inception of the CDL, and even though the standings is now 1-8, but it was a pretty dominant series overall. The LSC S&D, it kind of went not as I expected, just because the first time they matched up and they played on that map and mode, they went to round 11, they pushed it to the limit. Not so much the same thing as we saw here, but who needs the S&D when you win all 3 respawns?
Nameless, what's the bigger story? That LA avoids an 0-2 start here to our Major 3 qualifiers, or the fact that Octane finally beat Slasher in his 9th attempt?
I mean, Octane finally beat Slasher in his 9th attempt. Definitely the biggest story. I mean, those are 2 of the best ARs that we have in Call of Duty's history, and Octane gets the better of him here with some huge performances, even in that game 1. Not crazy stats, but wow, that rotation to P7 where he absolutely takes over to extend that lead. Big shout out to Octane. I think this is really a story of these are the 2 best teams that we have in the game. And wow, Atlanta FaZe beats them in that best of 7 4-2, right? In a best of 5, we see how the LA Thieves have the edge. You come into it, you're like, okay, we're getting rid of HyDra hardpoint. All right, we're not that good at that map, but neither are FaZe. It's a gamble. We're going to Embassy. We haven't been that good at Embassy, but what happens here? We get a big performance out of guys like Drazah and Octane, and we get the W on Embassy in this series as well. Hotel Control, a square up. 2 of the better hotel teams. They went to round 5. Last time they played, it was Atlanta FaZe who won. This time, it's LA Thieves. How evenly matched these guys can be, and the difference is the hard point.
We have to talk with the Thieves right now, and we have the man coming out with the big dub tonight. It's Sam LaRue. Samuel, you'll get the best of Austin. How are we feeling right now?
He was like 8-0 against me. I had to get 1. I had to get my revenge in my online domain. He can have a grand final and land. That's fine. We don't need that.
Give him 1 to start the year. I like that.
About 10 CDL points.
That was kind of much more important than the money and the trophy. You can get yours a little bit later in the season. In fact, your fans expect it from you. But tell me about this matchup in general. I saw you both on Twitter yesterday mentioning other teams may not be playing by the GAs. We knew this was going to be a stand-up fight. Do you enjoy playing against Atlanta?
Of course I do. I mean, it's just the highest level of competition. They've been running things for a while now, so you know, you got to be on your P's and Q's when you play against Atlanta, so it's always good to see where you level up against them. And then as for what you're talking about, Puckett, I think FaZe is one of the more honorable teams, I'll say that, amongst the league right now. So it's always a good time playing against those guys. And you know, I've never beat them, so you know, I got 1 in me at least.
Yeah, a good one as well in all the respawns. I mean, you battled them out and won and beat them in 2 of their best hard points in the CDL. So that was a big W overall. But I do have to ask, what do you feel like your shortcomings as a team were in that S&D?
I think Tyler aBeZy is just running around in S&D getting first bloods. I think that's kind of his running gimmick right now. We're kind of in a weird middle ground of our S&D right now, trying to figure out our identity. I think we're super streaky when we know what we want to do and when we catch rhythm, but there's two sides to that coin, and I think we're on the other side of it right now, unfortunately. So just trying to make sure that we're on top of things in practice, and just trying to implement some new things in our S&D that I think we're lacking right now.
Sam, I'm sure you've seen, the stat difference in online versus LAN with the LA Thieves. It's a big difference, man. Like, you guys turn up on LAN, we can always count on you to do that. I wanted to ask you guys, I feel like you're pretty outspoken, especially of this team on Twitter and stuff. How do you get past the mental block?
I don't know what you're talking about.
How do you get past the mental block, especially as a team online sometimes where the adversity is different than it is on LAN?
I think that comes down to our coaching staff. Cap and Shane definitely harp on things a lot when we start getting in those moves in practice, or if we start showing any signs of complacency or just complaining about online Call of Duty. They do a really good job of keeping us leveled for the most part. Obviously, we have our bad days and our bad matches like we did yesterday or the day before, unfortunately. But obviously we level up on LAN. We just need to do our best to bring that mentality to these online matches. Granted, there's a lot of differences between the two, and they're very hard to disregard with the loudness equalization and all that stuff. I'm not getting into it, but there's definitely some differences, but you just got to battle past it mentally.
I wanted to ask you also about your guys' map pool coming into this series. I saw you guys got rid of HyDra. You took them to aBeZy. aBeZy has been a little 50-50 for you guys. You're going up against FaZe, who one of the best aBeZy teams in the game. What was the thought process there coming into this?
I think both of the hard points this series were not necessarily an ego chow, but it's just a comfortability thing. It's their better maps and our better maps. We share a lot of similarities in our map pool, so we were comfortable just seeing who the better team was on the day, and that was the situation. As for the HyDra veto, it's something that we're still working on right now. I think we're doing well in practice, and I think we've had really good scrims leading up to this weekend. Obviously, unfortunately, didn't show that against Vegas, but I think it's just we share a map pool, and we wanted to see who the better team was today, and thankfully it was us.
Sam, thank you so much. We appreciate your time here. We will let you go celebrate. That's right, Octane beat Slasher. Just the first time here leading up to Major 3. Maybe.
8-1. I got one in me.
He's got one. He's got one. He's on the board, baby. Much love, Octane. We'll let you go. That is Octane. The LA Thieves come out and they finish the week 1-1. They're not the only ones, but we got to revisit one of the key plays that got them there. This is our scuff play of the game, and we got to talk about the snaking nameless. It's everywhere these days.
My word, fam. What is happening in the Call of Duty League? This is the skill difference. Look at Drazah. It just gets a two-piece. He's just trying to get information, right? This is the best way that you can gain information here on Hotel Control. Jumps the corner, finds one, and then we're going to see Envoy as well. Hit him with a nice flank. He sees them inside the hill stake. He's like, all right, I'm not gonna be able to shoot him in the head, so I gotta jump at him. Finds two, and then he hits him with the furious snake without the position. You don't even need a wall, man. You just hit it with an animation, you get the kill. So they were the better team today, especially in the diner.
Yeah, dining, snaking, it all works out, and the LA Thieves get their revenge. Unfortunately, it's still gonna be Atlanta with the trophy for now. But this is just the beginning of a very spicy Major 3 qualifier, and we got to look back at some of the other series that went on today, because we started with the Subliners. They had a poor finish in their own opinions. If you looked at their scores in Boston, they come out online, and they are just flying past their opponents today. The Mutineers hit with another 3-0. That game one, though, closer than a lot of people expected.
Very close, and I think the unfortunate thing for Florida in that situation is that New York were actually on the back foot a majority of this map, at least in my opinion. They were late on rotations, and it really took that one really good break over on the other side of generators when everybody got the kills at the same time, and they were able to collapse and get 40 seconds, and then a single and final P2 full hold there in the end to cinch that win. And from then on, I mean, it was just HyDra doing HyDra things. 11-4 on a hotel search and destroy, and it was a lot of Florida just not committing to the play. I think this Florida team still has a lot of growing pains and room to grow as a team with this new roster, but they gotta have constant confidence in their play calls.
And I like what we're seeing so far from the Subliners, returning to where they're used to, a 2-0 start here in the qualifiers. Mutineers still looking for their first map. We'll see if they can get it in week 2. The second series of the day, though, featured some new faces as we welcomed Hicksy into the starting lineup here at the CDL for the Ultra. On the other side, it was another look at Too Real from Las Vegas. And Nameless, you thought Vegas was going to have the edge coming into the series, but Ultra surprising a lot of folks.
I really did. I thought they were going to have the edge due to how their control looked in the yesterday's in their last match that they had versus the Thieves. But in this series, it was Toronto Ultra coming out blazing, man. Hixie came in, filled a void they needed in the objective role, and it's the Toronto Ultra that we saw throughout Stage 1 and the Stage 2 qualifiers. Scrappy had himself a hell of a performance in the hard points. They get some fortunate luck on their side in that game number 4, and a couple of mistakes on the Vegas Legion, but it was a tough battle, man. Both these teams pretty solid. I still think Vegas had a good showing, though. I really do.
Yeah, that search and destroy, by the way. If you want to see some ninja diffuses, these teams were fearless today. It was mind games on top of the gun skill. At the end of it, though, I want to get a quick grade from you. What do you think of Hixie? Is he a good fit for this Ultra squad?
Yeah, I think he did well. It definitely wasn't the most standout performance that we've seen from a rookie getting, brought into the CDL for the first time, but that's just not the type of player Hixie is. Again, he said in our interview that he wanted to enable CleanX, he wanted to enable his sub duo and enable the players around him, and it's hard to find players like that these days, man.
You need people that make the rest of the team better. That is what he says his role is on the squad, and he helps them earn their first win so far in our Major III qualifiers. Here's how things shake out at the end of week 1. Only 2 teams finishing 2-0. You also see Surge and OpTic still unbeaten after playing just 1 match. But look at that group in the middle. FaZe, Ultra, Thieves, Legion. It's getting messy there with a lot of 1-1s. We could see a race to the end here as everyone battles for the final 8 before Texas.
Man, listen, Puckett, if I'm some of these teams towards the top, I'm like, yo, can Thieves and FaZe get their acts together? I don't want to play you in round number 1. Like, figure it out and get some wins. But yeah, it's a tight race, man. Everybody is competitive, so it's going to get crazy.
We're looking at the numbers in Boston. They might be in a position to go 4-0. What are the big matches next week? Well, Boston's run, not nearly as difficult as some of these teams. Look at what OpTic has in front of them. They take on the new Toronto Ultra at 4:30. That's on Friday. But the Toronto squad, if they get up over OpTic, they got a chance to climb this leaderboard as they take on the Subliners. Toronto with a tough draw, and we close things out with an epic showdown as usual. Seattle Surge versus LA Thieves is coming up at 4:30 on Saturday.
Which should be a banger because we saw a much better Seattle Surge here at the start of our Major III qualifiers, but also Toronto Ultra, OpTic Texas, and Vegas Legion have some seriously tough remaining matches.
You only have 5 matches in your qualifiers before Texas. Get those wins in right now, and you all should get your wins in because ranked play is live. It's incredible, and we've got to give a big shout out to all the devs who made this possible. It's here. Nameless is making the climb to Crimson. Ali and I are climbing our way out of gold here shortly. We're going to be diamonds before you see us next.
I'm getting out right when I get home.
Same.
I'm going live.
Who's your hard carry? Can they carry me?
Clay.
No way.
Stay on the sticks, baby. That is going to do it for us. Thank you all for tuning in. We will see you next Friday, 2:45 p.m. as always, for another round of headquarters. See you then.
Let's go. Yeah. This that action-packed Rambo rap, no Sambo, I'm strapped, hard like Geronimo Pratt. Go for that, I just move on them, advance on them, groove on them, then dance on them, put a trance on them, with this tool on them. Tell all my young MCs what's the move on them. Mass tragedies when I grand groove on them. Put in long hours over strong flowers. The money's all ours. This is all power. We getting it. We getting it in. I said we getting it. We getting it in. Stand me across the clock, the work really begin. We getting it. We getting it in. Let's go. Yeah. Y'all know what it is. You know what it is out here when we really getting it in. It's what we do. I break day like the crack of